play out. We will be going into, I believe, map select fairly soon to see and kind of see how these teams are picking and banning out the maps to their advantage.
Yeah, I think if we're ready, we can roll our way over.
That's right. And also, just a reminder that Corrode is in the map pool. We did see that as map number 2 in the last matchup where Clanker Clan, got kind of close. 13-11 was the scoreline, but they were able to close it out. And I'm personally very excited to see a bit more about that. But hey, aside from that, Ascent has been immediately banned out by the Taco team, the tried and true, the very first map that was in this pool for the beautiful game we call Valorant.
Yeah, what feels like Valorant's version of Dust 2, the go-to, the default out of the map. Also, Bind, another classic map of usually a big fan favorite. Usually played really well by a lot of teams, but the Chicken Coop deciding to just get it out of there. They don't want to deal with those teleporters.
So to be honest, I'm not surprised, right? Brian just came back to the map pool not too long ago, has been out for a few months. So I'm not surprised that they actually keep themselves away from buying. Perhaps, they haven't had a lot of time to scrim themselves through. And so this is a smart one. But hey, we're moving straight into Haven, right? The first triple site map that Valorant has to offer, the one that really tried to shake the meta around from your tactical shooters. I love to see a good Haven. I feel like it rewards slow, methodical play and good map control. So I think it will really be a strong start to really weed out, hey, which team has the better sort of macros and gameplay tactics.
Yeah, especially with a map like Haven being here from closed beta. There's a lot of strategies and a lot of things have been worked on there. So it's hard to come up with some new stuff. But speaking of new maps, we have Sunset. Gotten picked. Chicken Coop selecting one of the newer maps came out 2023, I believe, in the end of the year, based in LA. A 2 map with a 3 lane could be interesting to see how they can tackle the streets of LA.
I just think it's very poetic that in this Sunrise Arena, that map 2 is a sunset, and that might sunset one of these teams unless we go the distance into a map 3, and we're just about getting through those bans as well. Icebox being banned out has been recently rotated out of the map pool. I personally am not a big fan, and Corrode as well. And that leaves that final map into our map 3.
So running in with 2 different 3-point maps. We'll see if they can finish it off at Sunset. But, for personally, greedily, I might say, as a fan, as a viewer, I'm hoping to see all 3 maps.
Oh, of course. No, we're definitely going the distance. We talk about high elo arenas here. And so I'm pretty sure some of these players are very comfortable with playing in high stress, high skill tournaments. I think, I think you were kind of showcasing some of the information you had during the pre-show that a lot of these players have that caliber.
Yeah, a lot of these are really high caliber players. Multiple of them playing at the college level, playing on college teams. Specifically, I'll call out on Team Nacho Average Taco. Taco and Weedy both playing in an all-fems tournament and recently winning that. So they're coming into this running on a high. With that win under their belt, they've got that momentum. Can they translate it to the rest of their team? On the flip side, Cluck, Jordan, Lamar here, and Zen's all playing at the collegiate level. I mean, these are all a bunch of really talented players, and we're going to see one hell of a match today.
Yeah, and I think I also have a public service announcement somewhere. I was told to read this out that Taco is 6 foot. End of public service announcement. I think is very crucial information moving into this. But the IGLs for the following teams are certainly Wheaty, IGLing for the Nacho Average Taco, as well as Lamar or Jordan. Kind of depends on when you catch that name change, but in game it's going to be Lamar IGLing for the Chicken Coop. So want to see how best these two, IGLs are able to step up and lead their team to success.
100%. And as we sit here, we're about to roll into the map, I believe, but the team captains for both these teams, Taco, like I said, coming in with Weedy off of that tournament win fresh. So put together a great team here. Let's see if they can recreate that magic they've pulled off before. And Cluck coming in for the attackers, assembling, a good team full of high-level players. Yeah, and seeing a lot of camaraderie with them throughout the scrims.
And I think that'll play off huge. I think it does take a while, even as casters we kind of talked about this during the pre-show, right, AG? Like, it's the first time that both of us are casting together, and it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of energy spent together to really understand the ticks and the pacing that we have. It's the same for any sort of Valorant game. If you've been in a duo or trio or even a five stack, it's going to be exactly that. And so that might lend Taco just a bit of an edge, but I wouldn't count the chicken coop just out yet as well. I mean, looking at their avatars here in game, they've got some very interesting duo and trio avatars, which y'all should see coming up real quick. But it's gonna be Haven, which I kind of talked about quickly, that it does invite a lot of kind of map control in early scrims and hopefully some disengagements to really get more of that three-side space.
Yeah, you want to be able to try to get as much info as possible as you're working around this map, right? Like it's so spread out horizontally that there's going to be a lot of poking and prodding, defaulting, seeing where they can kind of find those holes on attack. And on defense, you're trying to make sure you lock down, you prevent them from getting that information. But as we roll into agent selects here, getting going on Haven, we see an early Jet and also a Cypher, like two agents that I feel like are pretty default, pretty common for the Haven meta.
Yeah, Haven, I feel like nowadays the meta is double duelist. You actually see perhaps a Yoru plus ISO combination come out, and more often than not, I've actually, PaperX actually ran the Yoru and Waylay combination not too long ago, and absolutely destroyed on Haven. So that's really trying to be a bit more adventurous here. I feel like Haven is one of the maps with more varieties in the meta, so it really invites a lot of different combinations from each of these teams.
Yeah, and I'm seeing an early Sova hover from McTwisty. I believe he'll likely lock that in. I've played with McTwisty in a previous tournament. Oh, and a late switch possibly to a Tejo. Haven't seen as much Tejo recently after the nerfs, but McTwisty will go back, lock in that Sova. Faithwalker hovering the Tejo, that we might still see a Tejo on the field.
Yeah, Tejo, I think, was definitely a big, strong player when they first came out, but has since been nerfed to the ground, unfortunately. And so, not too much of that thus far. I feel like on the chicken coop side, it's a classic double duelist, but instead of perhaps the Yoru, we've got Zens on the Jet, using that updraft mobility to maybe get some space along with the Lamar, and that ultimate, that Gulag, is going to be coming clutch. But both sides have finally locked themselves in with the double duelist comp, and the supporting team are basically all the same, right? Sentinel being your Cypher, your Omen, as well as your Sova to support those recon elements.
Yep, well, pretty much on a mirror comp here with the ISO Reyna swap to see how they are able to utilize that extra info here. One thing of note, I'm noticing not a lot of flashes for one of the teams here, so that'll be a little more difficult for them to work with, getting out on the site, finding that early space.
Yeah, the only flash we have so far is Rogue, perhaps with the Leer, but I feel like, with Reyna being in this game since day one, effectively, a lot of people, especially at this high elo, know how to deal with a Leer. And typically, you'd like maybe a secondary flash to come in, like the Gecko with the Dizzy, or perhaps a Breach with the flash. So, you have to basically eat the flash from that perspective. But, that's not going to be it. It's just going to be the Leer taking away those those sight lines and very aggressive, basic gameplay. Not a lot of stall utility either.
No, not a lot to use. Just the Cypher available. But as we roll in, a quick push from Lamar Jordan going into garage.
Yeah, just trying to take this garage space very aggressively, especially with the wall coming out early to deny space and utility. You really see the smokes coming in on that seaside. I love that on-site smoke, by the way. It just provides the Cypher Weedy just a bit more cover and being able to play a bit more anchor. So we'll definitely watch out Weedy for a few more moments as Chicken Coop go re-exploring this field.
Yeah, it looks like they pushed their way into garage, but they didn't really find too much. They decided to lurk their way back over. Faithwalker possibly having some info, trying to call for the A rotate. They managed to take sewer control, but there are still two defenders from Nacho Average Taco on site here. Smoke's coming out.
Great dot as well. And to be able to isolate some of this information is going to be Tamathi trying to get one. Zens will find McTwisty, and unfortunately the anchors of A just fall and crumble. It's all left on these final two players from the Taco side, and Rogue's trying to jump this trip. Won't be able to, unfortunately. So position noted.
Yeah, try to get that jump over the stairs. Peeks out. Weedy trying to find some picks early, or late, trying to get some ground back, claw some placement in this, but unable to find the shot. Down to Rogue, who gets swung by Lamar, finding 3 on the round. A great way to start for Chicken Coop. But Nacho Taco gonna be going back to the drawing boards after that one.
I mean, it's also in terms of we don't have enough stall utility. You look at the way that Chicken Coop just walked up the coop, right? They took A like they belong there. They were about to hatch eggs all over the place. And there was nothing that the three anchors, mind you, on A could do. They had that mid-site smoke just to be able to play around, but McTwisty was taken out fairly quickly in the midst of the chaos. So we'll have to rethink, exactly like you said, how you want to play those retakes.
And of course, Team Taco coming in here, having to save, not having that money to use to be able to buy up some weapons here. We do have a Vandal and a Guardian on the field for Chicken Coop. Let's see if they can use those rifles to their advantage. Looks like a B hit coming in. Dart flies the back sight, clearing it out. But
I mean, I like the gamble stack from Nachos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gamble stat's good. 4 people around the backside just trying to take all this space. We'll find one and maybe even climb up that Spectre on the floor, giving them just a bit more of an edge. It's just going to be Weetie around this corner to deny, but I like the Chicken Coop push, right? They've taken this A-link control and all this map space and now just trying to find entries.
Yeah, they managed to get plant down, lockdown site. Not sure if Taco going to have to come up with a strategy here to try to get back in. Shockdart goes in back site, doesn't find anybody. But Rogue.
Spray right now. Zenz comes in with the Guardian to secure themselves against Rogue. Tamathi makes it interesting, but down with the 1v1 now. Zenz swings out and able to claim that 3k. Got real dicey on this anti-eco, but Chicken Coop managed to secure themselves a second.
And while they got the second, it's a costly second, right? They've lost 3 Spectres and a Guardian in that round. Nacho Taco almost pulling off a Thrifty. They're able to get their trades, equal it out, and bring it down to a 1v1. It's exactly what you want to play on that save round, but like just put that dent in the Chicken Coop. They'll come in with full buys, and can they convert the 3rd round after all that damage?
It's likely going to be so, with the gamble stack kind of worked out for the Nacho folks, and they're going to feel pretty good about that. An early shock dart just to be able to maybe get that trip off from the backside. But, Faithwalker is wary of the defaults around Haven. And the headshot onto the jet diff. Tamathi immediately taken out of action. And that's a critical rifle out of the way. You can't doubt these sheriffs.
These sheriffs are shooting today. I'll tell you what. That's smoke. Pushing McTwisty off of main. Zenz swapping over, throwing his Vandal over to Lamar here, over to Jordan, and pushing in with the Sheriff. That Sheriff is finding connections. The push in, rifle down, McTwisty getting 2, 3.
One enemy remaining.
Doing so much at the moment.
Gizmo back out.
Indeed, and Gizmo does have to reposition. Has an outlaw, not the best weapon you want when you go against a 1v4. We'll have to try and maybe get some exit frags. That's the most you've got, but doesn't look like the bonus might be going their way unless Gizmo has something else to say about this.
Gizmo able to find one with that outlaw. 140 doing a lot of damage, picking up, getting that upgrade to a Phantom. And the 1v3, the Wisp Spike on site. Does he try to go in for the next hit?
He has a lot of utility. He has the blind as well, but this is a beautiful smoke as well. And there's just a spam through Weetie, understanding position and timing, gets the headshot. Bonus now going to Nacho, putting themselves on the board.
That's exactly what you want to see from Team Nacho Average Taco, right? They might have lost the pistol round. They almost got the Thrifty on round 2. But with all that damage they got in that save round, they were able to go back and convert once they got that buy in round 3. Now they're going to be looking to try to roll that momentum forward, keep those guns, keep that advantage, and try to push on the pressure.
ISO has the ult as well. That might be one to turn the tides. I think some stat is, once ISO pops that ult and claims that kill, it's like a 70% win rate after which. So it's all about isolating it, perhaps playing with the Sova to try and get some early information around C, but look at the positioning from Weetie all the way back, realizing that ISO ult might be popped at some point in time.
Yeah, trying to stay back, trying to keep the trips, trying to keep the utility up. That is all info found, but one trip goes down. McTwisty finding the lurker, finding Faithwalker on A. Chicken Coop going in, the kill contract coming out, finding Tomothy. And Timothy getting the kill, taking the ISO down. That is not what you want to see from Chicken Coop here.
Spike down. C.
Yeah, it's been playing perfectly right now. Just playing retake. They know they don't have good stalls, so they just basically gave up that C side. Chicken Coop now left in a 2v4 situation. Cluck able to get one at the very least. The team leader trying to hold down the fort for the rest. Just using that spike to bait out some engagements as Rogue wants to get in on this action, but doesn't let any more information. They know they have time on their hands. Might as well play it, right?
That's exactly the right, but they also have a numbers disadvantage. And as we see, right when they fake it, they look to peek out again. Weedy swinging out, getting that kill, able to pick out the last two and secure that round. 2-2 all.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for that kill contract. I felt like if it went Lamar's way, it would have been a completely different story. But you know, it's once again, it's the default-esque that you want to be careful about. Faithwalker basically walked up A without any utility that supported that A-long push, and that let McTwisty easy access to a majority of that right side map control.
100%, especially as they started leaning heavily towards C. Looks like we're going in here. More of a mid push, trying to still cover that mid control. But A lobby, still always a fight to be had. You control so much space. You never really want to give it up if you can. And Nacho Average Taco putting 2 to keep that A lobby control. But Chicken Coop pushing up on the B, exploring their options. Trying to bait Rogue out of garage. They know one's present. But not sure where.
Might be a bit of a barrel here as Rogue and Weedy take two of their own. Granted, hey, Chicken Coop not able to work with much arsenal at the moment. Just 3 sheriffs to their name as Cluck managing to weasel through and unfortunately gets caught out. Yes, Taco just with the utility out. Could not find anything else, but McTwisty will shut that down. And so it's a left in a solo Faithwalker. 10 HP sheriff in hand. Spike in the middle of nowhere. Has to claim it up. Maybe get a few more picks for their trouble.
And the econ here still looks pretty good for Nacho Average Taco. I feel like they can lose this and still be able to buy next. But Faithwalker finds 2 on a timing, but gets shut down by Timothy. I feel like that's about the best you could ask for. Maybe saving a rifle, but I mean, you can take 2 out there. That's pretty good. 10 HP. I'd take that all day.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best case scenario outcome for the Chicken Coop folks. It keeps the Nacho folks, you know, a little bit humble, not rising up to Taco Bell perhaps, just keeping their tacos, you know, street side effectively from that perspective, but still able to string along 3 rounds in a row with a slew of ultimates under their belt. So it might be an explosive round for themselves.
Jet knives come out early. Zen saving that money, deciding to go with knives instead. Econ for Chicken Coop not looking super great. They're going to want to try their best to convert this round. Rogue pushing out early, finds the pick on Faithwalker.
This Fury now used early to try and just deny some entry or retake space rather from the Chicken Coop sides, as you know, Chicken Coop already established and Rogue just being a nuisance in the backside. Now hard rotates over to the flank. I don't think this will be expected from the Chicken Coop side, as right now the retake's underway, the spikes in, the teleport has to be used. Timothy couldn't find anything more. Zen's now with the knives, trying to isolate these fights bit by bit. Has the recon dart, uses the cloud burst to be able to just isolate these fights, but Taco swings out, gets the drop on Zen's, and claims themselves that 4th round.
That's such a hard position to be in for if you're Zen's, right? Being stuck in that back corner, nowhere to go. You have a Phantom in hand, but 3 people barreling down at you, just shutting down all that space, taking it away. And as good of a fight as you can, I think that's about all you can really ask for, right? The dart came up, got that scan off. They knew exactly where he was hiding, and just unable to get that shot off in time. Too much info already gone.
Yeah, it's wild because it's wild as well because Tacos, they didn't use any of their ultimates actually, and they were able to win that round. Walking into an anti-eco against Chicken Coop is the best case scenario. So this might be a bit of a snowball effect as they move closer and closer towards that mid round.
Outlaw shot coming out, putting Zen's on 10 HP. Took that one straight to the gut. The
Indeed, but they're not letting down
Jordan
as well right now. Zen's able to be the playmaker here. Faith still able to find something, but McTwisty will make themselves presence known. It's just left right now in a bit of a battlefield here on A as the spike does come down. Despite them having, lesser utility. Now, Wheaty's position is known. She's trying to make her way in, but I don't know if this suspect that Zen's round this corner with the shorty. The dance out, but Wheaty able to shut that down. Faith Walker comes in to clean shop and basically a near thrifty from the chicken coop side.
That's exactly what you want to see from the chicken coop. They, 4 rounds straight going to Nacho Average Taco. They needed to make a statement. They needed to get 1 round back, try to break that momentum. Valorant, very momentum based, especially with that economy. Once you get that economy going, and you can tank a couple rounds in a row, but when you're having to save by, those save rounds are just giving them away. So Chicken Coop doing great there to try to bring it back, get claw 1 back for them, and try to upset that momentum Nacho Average Tacos found early on.
Knives now out for the side of Tomothy. He's trying to be a bit of more of an anchor here on A. They've not been very successful here on this A side as the paranoia comes out. It's going to be Chicken Coop leading the charge here. Great vulnerability from Lamar as they step out through this smoke. Could not get themselves onto McTwisty. Unfortunately, the From the Shadows being used. Zen steps out and catches Taco, pushing and abusing that smoke push. And that mid round now being taken out. Rogue out of the way, so Faith Walker can now focus on supporting the rest of the team on A. It's just left on Wheaty once again. 1v4 against this barrage of chickens here.
That's the tough part about being a sentinel, right? They don't come to your site. You're playing retake and usually not at numbers. Wheaty trying their best, but Faith Walker with the crouch peek, able to catch her timing, catch her off guard, and get that kill. Brings it back 4-all.
Brings it back indeed. I'm looking at those ultimates as well, there's actually not a lot of great entry ultimates. Perhaps the Hunter's Fury to start things off. Basically the only person is that kill contract on ISO. And so a lot of the plays that we've seen so far are just basically dry peaks and or the little pieces of utility that we have, like the Leer and the Paranoid to start things off. But apart from that, it's all hit hunters and hit shots the whole way.
Yeah, precisely. And, something I noticed, Nacho Average Taco has been sitting on 3 ults here for a minute between Cypher, Reyna, and Omen, but just not finding the times, not finding the good point to use them.
Have to teleport out at the moment. Indeed, just giving up that B side, and Zen's being the aggressive jet that they are. The shorty in hand, we have to be wary of their ticks nowadays as they set up this post plant at the moment. No one's coming from the flank, so Nacho Average Taco just using that drone to trying to get themselves back in. The Ares sprays, but cannot praise for it. The kill contract out at the moment, catches Rogue in the gulag. It's just left on the lonesome, and within this kill contract completed and round done.
That's exactly what you want to see out of your ISO, right? Low HP decides to pop that ult. You get all of your health and your shields back, and you're isolated in a 1v1. Allow the team to clear up the rest of the players, and even if he loses that round, you've got 3 of your teammates on site ready to kill your enemy as they come out of your kill contract. It's a great spot to be in, and they used it to their advantage, pulling that lead back, flipping the script, taking the lead for the first time since they've won the first 2 rounds, really.
McTwisty has the Odin as well. You hear the spray and the pray. Ares was not enough. They want more. Wheaty now being the solo anchor here. We'll have to fend off against a couple of duelists, just making their sweet way on. The jet dash is already in. The Odin does work, as well as the Hunter's Fury trying to rebut and hold back the advancements, but can't find anyone. This side has been overrun already. Zen's taking up this forward space. This smoke's about to dissipate, so Wheaty has to maybe retrieve the Odin. I'm not quite sure. It's gonna be the Neuro Theft coming out in line, and Faith Walker able to just get there too. Unfortunately, Rogue out of the way. Wheaty now with the Odin trying to take back this garage space, but Faith Walker is ready for their 3K. It's all on Tomothy at the moment. A tall order, 39 HP. Through the boxes we go, and they line up. But Faith Walker with a beautiful 4K to secure themselves the round.
Faith Walker coming up big. 4K from the Cypher, from the Sentinel. It's really good to see them not have to play just the lurker right here, right? They were able to be in that fight, take those fights, get that info, and help eliminate those players, knocking them down one by one. Great pullback from Chicken Coop. You know, it was looking a little rough there for a minute when Nacho Average Taco went on that winning run, but they've managed to flip the script. They're getting that momentum back. Taco now looking at the same thing that Chicken Coop was going into. Can they flip that script? Can they make their momentum back?
I mean, their economy is broken as well, and I feel like Chicken Coop understand that. They're now hunting for blood, but Faith Walker might be caught with their pants down. No, holds the first, but has to understand that it might be pinched, and pinched indeed. That Stinger does so much, able to upgrade that weapon just a little bit more and give themselves a bit more firepower for this retake.
Nacho Chago pushing out, taking that space aggressively on B, trying to make it so they can pinch in, but then deciding to go against a pinch and just all bunch up into CT and Heaven here.
I mean, they're looking for the trades right now. It's going to be Weedy finding value with that. And Samathi will be able to find Clock. But Zenz off screen finds two. Beautifully done. Playing around with the smoke. Has to dash back. And Lamar isn't wary about the push from Weety. So it's once again all on Zenz. This smoke's about to dissipate. Finds the Odin. Swings over to Weety. And the clutch. The core gaming clutch. To find themselves that 4K.
Round before the switch.
What a clutch it was. Weedy getting that kill on the Omen in Heaven, had the info, got the Neural Theft off. They knew where Zenz was, but Zenz just said, I don't care. Activates Honey Badger mode, goes, you can know where I'm at, but I'm still going to shoot you. It takes them all out, pulls it back, gets that core gaming clutch. We are glad to see it. What a game, folks.
I have goosebumps, AG. I have straight up goosebumps. That was a ridiculous adjustment from Zenz, and they're hunting for blood. They can feel it. You can see their gameplay, their movement, their momentum. They are riding the high right now. Very similar setup from that previous round. And unfortunately, Faith Walker can't do anything more. Caught out in the exact same position as A gets compromised. Chicken Coop get the plant. Oh, not just yet. Cluck, sorry, is just around this corner with the spike. So just be another 5 seconds. This allows Nacho Average Taco to set up just a bit more when the Odin finds value. But Cluck returns with the Phantom.
It is very interesting of the push up right here, right? So Average Taco just left A completely open, gambled on a BC stack. Chicken Coop was able to walk up, but the spike didn't come up quick enough with them. So Average Taco able to regather, recompose, and come back together as they try to come back in for the retake. Zenz finding one, Jordan finding another. Secures that round. 8-4 half.
Switching sides.
4.
I mean, great recovery for the Chicken Coop folks, right? Like you kind of talked about it. 4 rounds strung in a row for the Nacho Average Taco team. But, you know, it almost seemed like an invisible timeout for the Chicken Coop folks. They're able to kind of regain their wits and find themselves a bit more momentum, breaking the economy a couple of times for the Taco folks as well.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, sometimes all it takes is that one round. You know, you're taking a couple rounds, lost, but you get that one back. You find that one piece you were missing, that key that makes it work. And from there, you start gathering that momentum, and you start feeling it. You start believing in yourself, and you start clawing these rounds back one by one. But we're at halftime. Tides have flipped. Let's see if Nacho Average Taco can replicate that attack advantage that Chicken Coop was able to pull off.
Yeah, same thing, right? Garage space taken. It's going to be just getting Cluck out of the way, right? The team lead, but Lamar says no. Blind shots through the smoke, trying to hunt for a third, gets it. Tries to evacuate themselves out of the way. The shield's online for that double tap to regroup with the rest of the team. They have man advantage, so they might as well play it.
Last player standing.
Nacho Average Taco taken down to 1. Taco, the captain, looking to try to get one back. Gets one back, but unable to overturn the player advantage. Jordan getting another one, securing that round. 9-4 for Team Chicken Coop. And what a better way. You can't really ask for a better way to start, right? Outside maybe a flawless, but come on, that's a little greedy.
That's a little greedy for the pistols indeed. I mean, I gotta say, I was thinking about the way that Chicken Coop kind of played their attack side, and you know, they started off doing a lot more defaulty, but you know, looking at their composition, it's much easier for them to just barrel down, which is exactly what they did, and got a lot more rounds under their belt. So I wonder if Nacho Average Taco gets win of that for themselves, because their composition is very aggressive as well.
Yeah, 100%. But as we see here, with the weakened economy, the worst guns in the field for Nacho and Taco, they're looking to bundle up here. Try to get those 3 sheriffs online, working together. If you can get 2 or 3 shots on a player, even if you all get 1, that takes a guy out. So, but Zen's finding Rogue, taking one of their sheriffs offline a long. So, down Taco, looking like they might try to recover that sheriff, while the rest of the team keeps that B pressure up.
Yeah, McTwisty is the only one with the classic, so that might be the only upgrade that they get from recovering that sheriff. Look at the position of Faith Walker as well. Look at how much control they have, as well as WT is going to be walking into the waiting arms of Faith Walker at the C-Long. I don't know if they're ready for it. They
Weedy
are,
gets Faith
and they're
Walker.
able to. That's huge, right? So now the C space is completely compromised with Jet taking garage space as well.
Not Travis Taco able
30
to
seconds left.
pull a little switcheroo, bait them off a C, find that pick, and get the plant down.
1 enemy remaining.
Timothy finding 3 on the round.
Yeah, but look Taco as well. She's way out of this space and has to play time. Gizmo's just gonna get it to the half at the very least. Here comes the paranoia, which is avoided by Gizmo, trying to see where these final players are. They know that they've stepped off. A beautiful cam as well, but doesn't look at the spike itself, especially with the smoke. They have to push, and at the half,
They
it's
don't know
the
it's
clutch
half.
defuse from Gizmo, the core gaming clutch as well, able to clean up onto Weedy, as well as Taco,
And
4K. And that's beautifully done from Gizmo.
You could not ask for more. Gets the defuse and picks off the players. No guns coming back. Like, what more can you ask? Average Taco, not a lot of money. They are able to buy up here, but there's a light shield and a regen shield in here. Full rifles, but, you know, at what cost? Chicken Coop also having to kind of force here a little bit. We're seeing a Outlaw, a Judge, maybe even a Classic. Swapped out for a Phantom at the last second, but Econ's weak for both sides. This is a pivotal round.
Is indeed right, and Cluck will be able to get 1 traded out immediately. This leaves C very open for the taking. Timothy dives right over that trip, so you know, doesn't give Faith Walker any space to play around it, as right now Chicken Coop look like they're coming in with a 4v4 retake. I see the kill contract online. They may start with that right off the rip, but the Outlaw Lamar just trying to peek around, working off this paranoia as well. Can't find this drop onto Taco, but gets traded out eventually. Left in a 2v2. Never mind, scratch that 1v2 situation. But Gizmo 10 HP. Timothy 3K. I'm running out of breath because the way that they progressed was so quick. But Taco able to hold down the fort.
These hits are so fast. I'm gonna give you a second to catch your breath. Like, I don't even know how you're keeping up with it. I'm barely keeping up with it watching. Like, these hits are just coming in so quick, so fast, so furious, really. Shout out Tokyo Drift, because we are sliding on the sites and taking names. It's just been incredible to watch. Coming into this next round, Chicken Coop, big save. Like I said, that Econ's not looking great for both teams. Not Travis Taco able to buy up, get full rifles here, but Chicken Coop gonna have to bundle up with their sheriff, see what they can make a move, see if they can, with their numbers, cause that chaos. But loaded up, 4 sitting, waiting a long for somebody to peek out. Taco on the verge of disaster here.
She has to play her cards right. She probably has a really good inkling now, trying to isolate these fights. Just
Finds
spots
one.
the counter. Oh, but Lamar catches Weedy off it. Now Zen's right up with them, but Timothy shuts that down. So bit of a tick for tat, 2-for-2 trade at the moment as the A erupts into a battlefield. They retrieve the spike and skedaddle, but I think they're being
I'm hearing
hurt
a
by
gun
Cluck.
juggle.
Yeah, Cluck has so much information.
They tried to juggle that gun out, not let the other team get that back, but Cluck on the timing, unable to find the shots. Timothy coming out of spawn of all places, swings back out, gets the kill, brings it to a 3v2. Nacho Average Taco will have sight, should be able to get plants off here before Chicken Coop can come in.
Spike planted.
And
Yeah, it'll be a
plan
tall
goes
order for the
down.
last 2. They've got pistols in both hands. They're spread apart, which means they can't get trades of each other, unfortunately. So, you know, perhaps some exit frags, or if they're lucky, some sort of shot through a box somewhere, because some of these players are a little lower. I'm looking at the Sova and the Reyna as well.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, Nacho, Average Taco, McTwisty, and Timothy swinging almost seems like simultaneously on 2 different angles, finding the last 2, Chicken Coop, and securing that round, bringing them back to a 6-10. They're still in the hole, but good 2 rounds back to back, trying to claw away at that advantage Chicken Coop was able to build up in their attack half.
Money if anyone needs.
Indeed. Indeed. Now, moving into effectively the meat and potatoes, right? The heart of the round where both teams are really starting to be able to buy up. Their economies building a little bit. They've got ultimates on both sides. Once again, looking at that kill contract from Lamar to make a difference here as one of the few initiating ultimates as Rogue uses Lear just to take the space, but Lamar's already tucked into this corner. Has to use a smoke to make sure that this mid space is denied.
Yeah. Omen here, Taco, or sorry, not Taco, but Gizmo throwing out the smoke, trying to cover for Jordan, tucked up in this cubby. The vulnerable comes out, abilities suppressed for Rogue, but the rest of Nacho Average Taco swinging in, covering their Reyna. You fight one, you fight all. Neural Theft comes out, Chicken Coop, all of their locations are known. The attackers know where the defense is, and this will likely inform where they're going to hit here next. Looks like they're leaning towards C.
They are indeed, and but information being moved over, right? Cluck, team captain already is feeding that information, clearing up all this A space. So already the retake might come in sooner than the tacos would like. Faith just being an anchor here on the side, gets flushed out by Timothy. It's gonna be Zenz round this corner, finding a 3K, just dropping names and taking bodies, or vice versa. It's gonna be Rogue wanting to have to pick up this spike for themselves, wrapping it around, doesn't have a lot of time to deal with it either.
And not much util left either. Reyna can heal herself, but he's got to get the kill first, and he's only going to get one. If this goes flawlessly, he can go to 80, but Gizmo finds the shot, a headshot of all shots. Secures the 11th win for Chicken Coop.
Oh, they're so close, right? This was actually Nacho Average Taco's map pick, right? Haven was maybe something that they were more comfortable with, and right now they're a couple of rounds from losing that to the Chickens at the moment. Their economy not looking too well, but they're looking like they might force, which is a big order, right? If they lose this, they'll walk into the last regulation round with a broken economy. So this is a do or die moment for the Tacos.
And you definitely want to do before you die as much as possible. Try to make
as
this
much
advantage
as possible.
work. Try to come out. Looks like they're going to go for
AG's
a little
life
bit of
advice.
defaulty setup, not pushing in as much, right? Like they've been bundling and kind of diving on the sites, but up against the wall, trying to take their time, change up that pace, see if they can bait these defenders into pushing out. And it looks like it might be working here, though. Gizmo finds Rogue.
Oh wow, all these 1v1 picks at the moment, and just allows Chicken Coop to wrap up those eggs. Lamar will get 2 for the troubles for the price of 1, but now wrapped around Faith Walker, they have no clue. They cannot understand that this is where Faith Walker is, especially because Zenz is baiting their team player here. Oh my gosh, Weedy still bests them. Oh, that's the second time they check the corner for Faith Walker and gets bested by their counter. And that leaves, unfortunately, Zenz scrambling out of there. Cluck's right round the corner to be able to close in on the other flank.
35 seconds left on the timer. They're going to have to pick a site and commit soon.
30 seconds
There's not
left.
much time to work with. They know it's going to push, but Chicken Coop kind of spread out, looking for that info across all sites. B is free, and Taco looks like they're going to go for that push there. Smokes off both the links. Breaks the trip. Gets in, plant down.
Planting for basically either B main or A link, which they're taking the latter, a bit more space, but they want to be able to take this 1v2 onto the nice, finds Zenz. That's A link completely secure. Leaves himself in much more favorable positions from the shadows, now being tested as the defuse comes out and gets to the half. The spam through, they're just taking it. They're not in the right position, and we're at match point.
That stick, they were just too far back, hiding back on A main, trying to keep themselves alive, trying to keep themselves in that fight, but too little too late. And the spray coming back through the smoke, able to get one, so taking a gun away as well. That is not what you want to see from Team Nacho Average Taco. Scattered by here, 2 rifles, 2 bulldogs, and a stinger. We've seen the stinger work out well here if you can play around it, but it's a little hard to try to get its value out of on attack, right? It's a lot easier to hold a corner on defense and just wait for someone to walk it than push down long, with Zen sitting here with an outlaw in hand.
Ooh,
Cluck with the
able
early
to get-
Hunter's Fury.
I love it. And the updraft from Timothy unfortunately could not find any value. Lamar in kill contract will find Rogue. Second time that's happened so far, and gets Timothy out as well. Or Tomothy, I apologize. I'm completely whiffing that name. But now taking all this space, we're pinching it on to Taco. Is just left on the team lead themselves, who could do no further against an outlaw. And so 13-6 goes the scoreline against their map pick. Welcome back, everybody around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Ohgawdevents Sunrise Arena High Elo Valorant Tournament. We've just seen a bit of a banger between Chicken Coop as well as Nacho Average Taco. And the chickens have indeed arisen and gotten the map pick away from the tacos. So on to map 2 we go. My name is Multitudes, and joining with me is the lovely AG. What do you think about that previous Haven map, huh?
What a map, am I right? Like, coming out fast and furious, quick trades, a lot of
Yes.
action every time they hit site. Like, and it seemed like a lot of not as much defaulting as I would have expected on a Haven map. A lot of bundling up and just kind of taking hits. There's a little bit of playing around, trying to figure out where people are at, maybe try to get a pick early, but after that, just barreling on the site and able to take sites. So we saw a lot more post plants, I feel like. A lot more coming in late, trying to come in, try to take back site, but just very fast, very quick, very high energy pacing here. And I'm kind of interested to see if they're going to be able to keep that energy up going into map 2.
Yeah, I completely agree, right? With the composition that they supported in Haven, the double duelists from both sides, you do tend to have a lot of aggression. Plus, without the stall utility that they have, sure, they have trips just for a bit of information around the flanks. But apart from that, you know, it really lended to them, both on the attackers and the defender sides, to play a little aggro, perhaps have a rehit. But where Chicken Coop really succeeded was to be able to, you know, put the pedal to the metal, almost like W Gaming PRX style, able to get their dub under themselves. So I'd be interested to see how they play Sunset, because Sunset's a little different, right? It's a lot smaller,
Yeah.
a couple of sites, and it plays a bit more like Ascent, where the mid space is so much more important.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of mid pressure coming into Sunset, right? Like that mid gives you so much control, especially on a B, on a B hit, right? So coming over, trying to get in through market, try to work your way onto site. Getting that door broken from tiles, a common strat we'll likely see employed here. Trying to just create that extra pressure on the defenders, not let them lock their sights only down on main. But main also just being like a multi-stage attack point on Sunset, having to fight your way in through past the billboard, around the corner, and then getting on the site where it just expands out. So you're going to be seeing, I think we'll definitely be seeing some like smokes here, kind of trying to cut some space out, along with a controller or two, trying to lock that area down, lock down other areas of site, and allow the duelists, the initiators, kind of flow around a little more, feel it out, and find those fights.
I agree, right? Sunset also has some quite interesting compositions, to say the least. We've seen some crazy plays with like sages and some very insane sage walls, as well as a double controller as well might be quite common here, even double sentinel. So there's a lot of different ways that we want to be able to play this map, especially because that mid is so small and narrow. It allows the creep up from the attackers to get the flank onto the defenders who are maybe rotating from side to side. So it might be a tick for tack trade from these two teams. We'll have to see which one can basically outbrain the other.
Exactly. And, you know, you brought up Sage. We don't see a lot of Sage nowadays, but Sunset seems to be one of the ones where people still bust the Sage out. I saw some very interesting Sage walls recently, some VCT matches. I think I saw one, a satchel up onto a Sage wall off of that billboard in lobby and catching one mid. Like, you can get very creative with some Sage walls here on Sunset. So let's see what we come back with coming into Agent Selects. See what the teams bring up.
I mean, wait, just on that point, Sage got buffed recently, so like it can absolutely bait a lot of things. The wall distance, the resurrection distance, it's absolutely ridiculous.
A much more viable agent now as the picks start coming in. Seeing a Sova hover from McTwisty. I played with McTwisty. I know he's a Sova main. Likely go to lock that one in, but as we come in, double duelist hovers out of Nacho Average Taco here.
Yep. I like the ideas of locking in the Astra plus the Deadlock, right? Weety feeling comfortable with the Deadlock. That is a great sentinel on both attack and defense side. I feel like, it doesn't lend the same sort of stalling power as, let's say, a Cypher or Information, but what it does bring is an aggressive like grab net plus good wall placements on the attack side. And Taco, obviously, Astra, if you can 5-brain your way into the best controller, or rather maybe the second best controller we have in the meta here, you can definitely work a good Astra.
Speaking of which, the best controller in the meta, I would, venture to say Omen picked a lot, very high pick rate across all levels of play, and hovered right now for Team Chicken Coop. We see a Neon locked in. Zen's swapping out, letting Jordan take the Jet and swapping over to a Neon. Different attacking philosophies here. Chicken Coop coming with 2 movements. Meanwhile, Nacho Vichaka with the Reynas coming in, keeping a flash on. But Chicken Coop leaning heavily on Vise for their 1 flash. And while for Omen Paranoia.
I mean, you nailed it, right? It's like, again, 1 flash, not a lot of flash potential. Sometimes people play Dizzy around this because it has lower walls and allows the Dizzy to get past around certain corners and good retrieval of it, but that's not the case here. We've got that Vice on the attack with the Arc Rose. The Neon's an interesting pick because actually it can be perhaps countered by the Deadlock Sonic Sensor plus the walls that come out from Weety's pick right there. So would be interesting to see how we do that matchup between those two.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, with that Deadlock pick, you get the Sonic Sensors, you still get that info, but it's not the same type of info you'd get from somebody like a Killjoy, somebody like a Cypher, where or even like, say, a trademark from Chamber, like they're gonna have to break it or walk or sneak around some other part of the map. They don't come to that area. Deadlock, on the other hand, you can walk right past those sensors if you catch it right. But as
you called it immediately. It's that early door break from tiles just to be able to take this mid aggression. Look how many pistols are pointed towards this mid space. It's just Rogue who has the intuition to evac their way out of elbow. The Prowler in tow manages to get themselves out, and Tomothy is right there with them. The one-way smoke denying, but eyes on this elbow right now. 3K in hand, looking for a 4th. Lamar will deny it with the Sheriff. It gets out with a dash to not take this grab net to their knees and able to get a 3K of their own. Spike now in tow as well. 1v1 against the Astra themselves. Who will get here first? Taco gets the timing, but not the shot. Lamar was ready for it. And we start things off with a huge banger of a 4K.
Putting Chicken Coop on his back, rolling in, Sheriff in hand. He said there's a new Sheriff in these parts, and his name is Lamar. Coming out, getting the 4K. Taco hearing that dash as he tried to get out a main, but Lamar, Jordan, aware of it, flicks back over, gets that shot. That's a great way to start if you're Chicken Coop.
I mean, Tomothy tried their best, right? Like, to be able to be the anchor down on that A side, but hey, it's a duel v duel kind of matchup here as we go again. It's gonna be the buyout from Chicken Coop, and not so much for the Taco side, and it's very evident as B does get taken down pretty instantly with no more utility on A. B is free real estate.
Zen's Neon Bucky in hand. That is a dangerous proposition backside. They know where the spike is down. It's getting planted, but McTwisty getting pushed into Boba, taking out 1. Lamar finding 2.
One enemy remaining.
Zen's with the shotgun on the 3rd. And Tomothy finishing it out. Cluck getting Tomothy, finishing it out. Chicken Coop coming into Sunset strong with a message that they are coming, and they are coming quick. They are here to fight, and they are going to meet you on site.
Yeah, Tomothy already has that Empress online. Lamar 1 away from knives, which would be great in future rounds as well. So a bit, once again, pressing the pedal to the metal, adding gas and fuel whenever they can take advantage of an anti-eco from the defense is probably the strat you want to do. There's a lot of good spacing and not a lot of close quarters that they want that can be abused off with, like, let's say a Spectre, etc. And so to be able to take these properly with trades is probably the right call.
Zen's trying to slide in, but caught, like you said, by that Deadlock Sonic Sensor. Perfect placement, able to help Astra out. Keeps Taco in this fight. But Taco down to very low HP, 510 maybe at best.
And so Chicken Coop now go re-exploring, looking for more places to feed their chicks at the moment as they take this mid space. It's going to be a double team up from Tomothy and Rogue as Faith Walker tries to even it out and get themselves a pick. Weedy spots the lurk from Lamar. Into the smoke we go! McTwisty will find themselves utility out in hand, so only can get one for their troubles. And now still in man advantage here for the Nacho Average Taco team as they try to figure out where to hit towards. Fate Walker opens up the site just a little bit with this B and might find an opening here for a plant.
30 seconds left.
Chicken Coop got out of a very precarious situation there. Gizmo was by himself in mid with the spike and just barely got around the wall in time. Rogue did not able to catch him in mid, but 2v3 Chicken Coop, really 2v2.3, right? Taco down to just a very low HP, still can't shoot, but one bullet will take her out.
Yeah, not much utility either for the Chicken Coop sides. They have to really play around
Player standing.
the folks here. They get Gizmo out of the way. Arc Rose tries to bait, but Tomothy is ready for it. The defuse is solid. And Nacho Average Taco will get one on the board.
Team Ace.
That's what we like to see. Taco staying alive, going for that defuse, and then swapping it up, giving it over to Rogue, trying to get that Raise Rocket online. One orb away. Tomothy, Reyna coming in with an ult, as well as Jordan. Jordan looking like he was going to pop these jet knives, come in instead of buying a rifle, save a little bit of money and keep it going for next round. Will we see the Reyna ult out of Tomothy, though, to reply?
Yeah, you know, I was surprised that the jet was handed over to Lamar. Lamar, I feel like has big shoes to fill in after the performance that Zen's had. But honestly, Lamar able to really show up when it's necessary, so might be able to work that as well. More defaulty approach. You see the 1-2-2 spread across with the drone. In mid, hoping to spot more information, only spots Zen's.
Jordan sneaking into market here. Trying to clear it out with the knives, finds Taco, but gets caught by the sonic sensor, able to still get away, but does take some damage in the process. Has to respect that hold. Taco running, here's the footsteps, baiting for Weedy, who finds the shots onto Jordan, takes him out.
That's a good play right there,
right?
right?
That market control.
Indeed, the off angle from Rogue will find their mark, trades out for more. We'll find Zen's as well. But Tomothy is right there with Empress online, looking for more indeed, and they shall. 2 for 2 goes the scoreline.
Tomothy coming out swinging in this sunset. 7 kills on the board already after 4 rounds. Getting that win back. That's 2 in a row for Nacho Average Taco. That's exactly what you want to look at here. Looking to start off strong, especially on defense. Sunset, I feel a little more of a defense-sided map. Typically 2 sites tends to lean in that direction. But Chicken Coop are going to look to try to flip that script, try to undo what they've got so far. Only 1 rifle coming into the round, though, for Jordan, who's popped times last round.
Wouldn't count them out just yet as they go slip and slide. The Stinger does everything, but not enough. As Rogue and Tomothy once again anchors of this A side, the dynamic duo. The paranoia forces Tomothy back, but Rogue, oh my gosh, with a boom bot, able to get Gizmo out of action. Leave Chicken Coop scrambling. These 2 players, sheriffs in hand, but 1 away from their respective outs. So if they can get 1, the tides might be turned.
Yeah, and you know, oh, Cluck tries to find the one on Tomothy, brings him down, but unable to find the shot. Taco pushes out mid, finds Faith Walker tucked and gets the kill. Nacho Average Taco taking the lead back 3-2.
A great flawless round, right? A statement piece against the Chicken Coop saying don't put all your eggs into a single basket. We're coming after your map pick. But now, you know, 3-2 goes that score line. We've got Chicken Coop with that Steel Garden plus Fade's ultimate as well, the Nightfall. So that's very strong initiating starts as they might prepare for a very quick A hit.
It looks that way. Stacked up 5 set outside of main. Seas comes in, smokes out. They're going quick. 2 down though. Tomothy and McTwisty each finding 1. Iron Garden coming out, taking away the guns of McTwisty. Faith finding the kill.
Indeed. So this is going to be free real estate right now on to A. Knock, knock. Nobody's home. At least the previous tenants were knocked out, right? Not right now. It's going to be a 4v4 never mind, 4v2 retake. Showstopper online as well, but maybe not needed because Tomothy is really feeling it. They're just going to come out to support the rest of their teammates. Faith Walker has the opportunity. Tomothy shuts it down. Rogue's right there with them. And what a beautiful retake from the Nacho folks.
And this is exactly what you want to see if you're Nacho Average Taco, right? Like we lost our map pick, we lost map 1, but we're coming back on their map pick, on map 2, and coming out strong, taking that early lead, bringing up to a 4-2. They want to try to keep that momentum rolling as best they can. Like I said, it's Sunset being 2 sites, more defense-sided. You want to get as many of these rounds on the board as you can. Try to make that attack half as easy as possible, and try to push this to map 3.
And it was super expensive for Chicken Coop as well. Like, they expended both the Steel Garden plus the Nightfall. I feel like the Steel Garden timing wasn't great either because, like, Lamar just walked into those crosshairs before the ultimate readied itself. So, you know, we got to talk a little bit more about, you know, body positioning and timing for the Chicken Coop folks. But, you know, they're going to be walking into a bit of a force here, trying their hand at A once again.
Yeah, that Prowler coming in spots one. They know people are on site, but you can anticipate that at the end of the day. But Gizmo teleporting back to Alley, caught by Rogue. Chicken Coop down to a 4v5 already. Little fight happening in elbow. Twisty looking for Faithwalker with backup from Tomothy.
Doesn't even need it. We'll take Faithwalker. Angle advantage indeed. So B, onward we go. It's a fast one. Wheaty's already on site here, but doesn't really need it because Taco will be able to find themselves. Zens, okay, keeps it interesting in a 1v3. It does have Hunter's Fury plus Showstopper on the Taco side, so Zens has to press the issue. Knows that that's their only win con as they walk around. Eyes on Boba, looking for a healthy snack for themselves. Rogue up top, maybe trying to wait for the Lear to come out, and it's great. Can get one, but one is all they get. Lear will blind it out, and Rogue's there for the trade.
Tomothy, oh, with that flash coming out, but Zen's almost catching both. Finds Tomothy before the Lear can pop, but if the crosshair just held there for a second longer, I can see him catching Rogue too, picking it a 1v1, and that could have been a different story there. These games coming down to millimeters, coming down to split-second decisions. This is a tight match, and can't wait to see more of it.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, the scoreline is very similar to what we saw in Haven, right? Like, you know, Chicken Coop getting pistol plus anti-eco, and then Nacho Taco just running away with 5 rounds in a row, 5 ultimates to boot. Finances looking like oil barons. I mean, they are well in control of everything at the moment.
Rogue launching a nade way down to bottom mid here and pushing everybody back out. A little bit of chip damage on Fade, Neon, and Jet. Not much more you could ask for to hold that mid control, but Chicken Coop have pushed up. The chickens are free roaming the pasture that is mid right now.
And I think, you know, Nacho Average Taco willing to give that away. They have a lot of post-plant utilities they can give, but look at the way Chicken Coop are trying to work it. Now Showstopper, Rogue tries to answer in kind. Just fires out just to clear space, but space is not what they got. Death arrives on their doorstep instead. Faithwalker finds another. That's both duelists out of the way from Taco. So it opens up this map a whole lot more for the chickens.
And in that process, Faithwalker lurking, yeah, like you said, all the way through to A. They know A is free. They're able to get into sight and get this plant down uncontested. Leading them to a 5v3 in post plant. But McTwisty answering in due time with the Hunter's Fury, finding one, trying to find Jordan, got him zapped down to just 1 tap, but can't get the kill.
3v3. Trying to make it work. Faithwalker will find Taco in the midst of it all. Now pinching around. The flank has finally come through. Wheaty will find Gizmo up on top and now has to do it all. She's trying to isolate these fights, but Lamar once again. The attacker sided reigns supreme, and just like that previous map, they cut short the string of rounds from the Taco folks.
Yeah, it seems like Nacho Average Taco is able to get into a bit of a roll, right? About to get in a good flow, get a couple rounds back to back to back, but then Chicken Coop adapting to those attacks, finding that weakness, finding the holes, and able to start flipping the script. It'll be interesting to see if Nacho Average Taco can adapt to that response that Chicken Coop's been able to pull off and try to keep their momentum rolling, unlike on Haven, where it got a little shaken up after. Nade coming in
Nades
early,
once again.
pushing them off of that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Not ready yet.
Really getting punished quite early on with the aggression from that B. This opens things up on B itself. You see the rotates coming in strong with the race supporting this mid-market. Timothy will be around this corner. That sheer just holding them back. I love this off angle. It's gonna be Zen's waiting around, but the angle advantage and a dismiss through the sheer. I don't think they know, but Faith Walker's just around the corner. We'll get the revenge. It's gonna be even Stevens 3v3.
That was a great response from Faith Walker, being aware that that dismiss won't trigger that sheer wall, right? Coming back to add some extra cover for his teammates hiding out in tiles. Gets that kill back and gives them a free A site to plant, 3v3. And Rogue here, looks like they're pretty hurt. Down to 53, just two shot.
Faith Walker does have that steel garden, and if they can survive long enough to pop it, swings out, gets both! 4K! Looking for the ACLU ace right now, hunting for Rogue! Spams through, Rogue will deny, left in a 1v2 situation, not a lot of HP, has a couple of satchels to maybe get some high ground, but time's a ticking, Rogue. Everything's on you to snatch back the momentum from the Chicken Coops. I think the call has been made, they're gonna save. They don't have enough HP, nor the time to get back on site.
And I think that makes sense. Gizmo aware of the chance, the possibility of that save, trying to hunt, looking for Rogue, but Rogue, knife out, full sprinting, trying to get as much distance as possible. Is able to save that Phantom, keep it going for Nacho Average Taco, and I think that's a good call too. Looks like Taco themselves, the team captain, wouldn't have been able to full buy with full shields here, so gets that buy from McTwisty. Money getting spread around really nicely. Nacho Average Taco keeping the whole team in game. But both teams able to full buy here, full rifles, full shields, so we'll have another full battle here.
I like it, you know, you called it right. That rifle was the only thing that kind of stopped them from really having a full purchase here, arsenal-wise. So great, great call there. As once again, this mid space given to the chickens as they wanna, what do you call it? Cage free.
Cage free, open pasture, free roaming all throughout mid, looking for any free open range seed they can find.
In we go, Lamar just found this corner. I won't be able to get more space than that. Timothy was ready for that smoke peek around the corner, but realizing that there's 3 players around here, Rogue will get the trade at the very least, the spam through, leaving themselves a bit lackluster here, and Faith will punish McTwisty for pushing, being a bit more egregious on that A side. So evening things out right now player-wise, they can choose which side to hit.
Both the duelists for both teams, both hurt. Both likely around 56 HP. 2 bullets will kill them from anybody. The iron, the visor comes out, but doesn't seem to catch anybody on sight.
A beautiful walk through mid as well. Indeed, right? That's important. It kind of splits the attention at the moment, but Rogue is ready for it. You just leave Gizmo out in the open for the plant. The arc rose now being taken care of. Rogue sitting on this like a chicken on an egg. Slide out. Zen's trying to recover everything for the rest of the team. Both players are super low in this map through the box. Zen's has the intuition and able to recover Chicken Coop, tying things up 5-5.
And what a round, what a pullback. The spray going up. Shout out Sin City from Zen's. But what an exceptional way to pull that back. The spray through the box. Wasn't able to get the plant for the extra economy, but I'll take a win over that every day. Also, interesting call out I saw from Zen's last round. I think hit a running jump peak off of the top of hut here around that Charlie's Churros to peak top mid. There's no way you're anticipating a shot on that. So that's a free peak they were able to pull off in mid. However, switching it up, going for more of a B hit here.
Yeah, they haven't really had a lot of success. It's going to be that sonic sensor, that untouchable, that will catch, yep, Zen's off guard, has to use the walls just to be able to work it by Annihilation online as well. Taco's right up with there, trying to get the spam through. Weedy will find Lamar as well. Everything is denied. The fast exact from Chicken Coop is stalled 100,000%. Faith Walker can't find anything in mid, and it's all over before you know it.
And what a beautiful hold. Weedy getting two there. She's really locking that site down and brings it up. Rogue able to push back out, clear that extra space, finds the last one, finds Cluck, finds the team captain, and gets that round. 6-5. Very even half going in here. Can Nacho Average Taco keep that lead? Add one more to it to try to leave defense as best they can, but we will see a timeout coming from Team Chicken Coop. Cluck throwing a timeout on the board for the last round and a half.
I like it. You know, first time we've seen a timeout here in the Sunrise Arena high elo Valorant tournament supported by Ohgawdevents. I think it's a right time to kind of call. Maybe he should have called it a bit earlier, but you know, you get 2 per map, so great time to maybe put themselves into an even Stevens position.
Yeah, might as well use one before you go to the next half. It resets after that, but you know, try to come up with a good game plan here. Try to get, like you said, get them on equal footing going in. They know they can deliver if they need to. They know how to play well together. They've got a good defense team set up here. So as long as they can, you know, try to equalize here, try to keep it even, I think that sets them up really well going into the next half. Sunset being very even for both the teams, right? Like, it hasn't been as defense-sided as I thought it might have been.
Yeah, and Chicken Coop, you know, they've got a bit to fight against, right? Taco already has been sitting on the dimensional drift for a while. Rogue went away from that showstopper. And Chicken Coop's arsenal not looking the best either. They've got the overdrive perhaps, and armed with a Vandal might be what it takes, but away we go on to A that they found so much. And some Tomothy being the absolute anchor around elbow. They've swapped sides at the moment, but can still do work here as Rogue also that counterpart, forcing the rest of Chicken Coop to have to kind of tail tucked and leave.
Deadlock had the wall out, blocking off being named Gizmo, able to teleport through it as Omen walks into market, but Taco, aware of the possibility, finds him, takes him out. They try to reply with a Deadlock wall of their own. No, it broke that wall, push out. Sorry.
The Deadlock wall has been so annoying thus far. Faithwalker does get one for the troubles. Okay, never mind, keeping it interesting. As now we want to press into Boba. Rogue already taking that top fight. Nope, decides to hold back and wait for the rest of the regroup here. Does have the showstopper, not anymore. Even things out. 2v2 could go either way as well. Now spam on to McTwisty. Only can find one for the troubles. Doesn't know where Tomothy is though. And up from the top, and Tomothy will find the 3K, the saving grace. Safe pair of hands for Taco. 7-5 goes the half.
And that's exactly what you see from Nacho Average Taco, right? Like, carrying that lead, carrying that defensive role over 7 wins on that half. Trying to make it as easy as possible for them going in this attack half. Put the ball in Chicken Coop's court, make them have to stop us. But can Nacho Average Taco continue that role, keep that push going, and try to capitalize heavier on the attack side than Chicken Coop could on theirs?
Yeah, so on the flip, you know, compositions have to evolve basically. Wheaty, right, looking at that Deadlock, maybe wants to support with some beautiful graph nets, and once you get that post plant position down, that wall on pistol at least is really powerful. So let's hope that they manage to get pistols, because they haven't been doing so well, you know, in the last 3 pistol rounds.
Yeah, they haven't had the greatest starts, but this is a net set up to try to catch Jordan, but he walked out, cleared past it, and finds 2. And that round ended before I felt it started. No, like, I think it was a 10-second round. Chicken Coop pulling a round back quickly.
Yeah, we might have to call Guinness World Records right there, because holy, that was quick AF. I mean, the one-way smoke supported by Gizmo, I know score-wise not the greatest, but that smoke position just allows, you know, Lamar as well as Cluck to feel the confidence to take that aggro fight and just gun them down. So once again, 4 for 4. Pistols are well within Chicken Coop's repertoire.
And that sets up Chicken Coop very well to try to convert the second round, just like it has all day long, really. Getting that early eco advantage, getting that early gun advantage, and trying to help convert those as they move through.
Default approach right now. That's all they can really do, you know? And not a lot of... They have no rifles, it's just pistols in hand, and So far, you know
And
what I
only two
haven't seen? They
sheriffs.
haven't really tried. Yeah, 2 sheriffs. They haven't really cleared the sentinel much in either half, right?
Yeah, they've been letting the Sentinel kind of continue to hold that advantage. But the Sentinel walking out and finding each other, while Cluck finds 3 on A.
Beautiful spray down at the moment. Those Arsenal, you know, finding value at the moment. WT in the midst of it all will be able to pick up one. The slide will find Timothy. It's giving me, you know, just flashbacks from my own ranked games as WT tries to find their own spray and pray to no avail. The C's and everything in the kitchen sink will eventually drop WT, and we're tied right back up 7-7.
Nacho Attacker only able to get 1 gun down there in that round, but recovered. The Spectre still back. Faithwalker likely going to pick that one up. Zen's with the Sheriff in hand.
I need a weapon. I appreciate
As they regroup here, 7-7 all. This is usually about the time we start seeing the response from Nacho Average Taco. Able to get that full buy round. That first buy round is usually where they start getting that ball rolling. So let's see if they can convert this one and try to get that momentum going, get that momentum building, and try to get some rounds back on attack.
That is the hope that they have. We'll have to see as the spike is being left in spawn. They just want to go press in. They're looking for chickens to harvest at the moment, but you know, none of them are giving them that particular advantage. Just a slow default, you know, early recon being dealt with, and early nades as well.
Jordan with that outlaw posted up on A, holding A main down. So Chicken Coop can kind of rely off that info, but the peek coming out found. Lamar finds Timothy, gets the shot off, gets the kill, down to a 4v4.
And now Faithwalker has been pushed back by a slew of utility, but still brave enough to peek around with the Sheriff at the least. You know, Sheriff's not been tripped, so there's a lot of assurances. Do they realize that McTwisty is really pushed up? I don't know if they do. They don't. They whiff on it though. Oh, the reload. Faithwalker able to get themselves that with 1 HP. 2 HP, 1 bullet left, finds Taco in the midst of it all. What an anchor on this B. Now Rogue trying to support the rest of their teammates here. The peek out, Faithwalker still escapes with their lives. The gun down will eventually find the Vice. Zen swings out, finds Weety. Rogue in a 1v2. Oh, looking at the wrong direction, but Clock will be able to find the drop onto the final player. Oh, honestly, that was chaotic.
What a round and what a play from Faithwalker, right? 2 HP in a dream, finds one and then takes the time to get the reset, lets that Sheriff fire reset and finds the second on no HP, really. Like, what a way to hold down sight. That's exactly what you want to see from your Sentinels.
And if you're McTwisty, you gotta be beating yourself a little bit. I felt like that was me. That was just giving me vibes.
Everyone's been there. Everyone's felt it. You hate to see it. You hate to have it happen. But you know, this is why we play. This is why you play Valorant. You can't just go off of what the stats and the scoreboard show. You got to show up in the server, right?
Indeed, as we go again, it's gonna be just a quick tick for tat trade. Lamar's trying to hold things back, but Timothy is just feeling it a bit better at the moment. The juggle of the weapons just to recover things a bit more for McTwisty, who gets that upgrade. Now Clock realizes the corner but doesn't get it. Timothy 4K line up for the ace, as well as Zen's in market hunting for more information. I feel like the jump might have been hard by McTwisty, so it's gonna be right now Timothy looking for the ace, but McTwisty will steal it away. But the round will still be tied up for the Nacho Average Taco team.
And that's a great response from Taco, trying to keep that ball rolling. You know, they lost the buy round that we thought they might try to get that win on, but managed to turn it back around. Cluck with a much earlier timeout this time, trying to get the team back together really quickly, which is interesting to see. They won the first 3 rounds. So Author only loss of the round pulled an early timeout.
Yeah, this is honestly, I feel like I've been in enough tournaments to feel like people don't abuse this enough. You know, timeouts can be so spectacular to, you know, stop the momentum and try to flip the script onto your opponents. And this is a great, I might be a little early, you know, but at least
Yeah.
they are trying to really build momentum and get this best of 3 done and sealed up in 2.
Yeah, like I haven't noticed anything specifically bad about that last play, right? I don't feel like there was many holes or anything. They just executed pretty well. So I'm curious to see if this was actually for some strategy call, if they maybe have a playbook cooked up, or if it's just trying to pause out Nacho Average Taco, not let them get that momentum, since we've seen them get into like a 1-win, 2-win, 3-win, 4-win, 5-win situation multiple times. Maybe they're trying to freeze them out a little bit, calm them down, pull them back of that warmth.
Could be that case. Also, looking at those orbs, Zens might pick up one more for that overdrive. We've got the Nightfall ready from Cluck as well. Empress popped, wanting to demand sovereignty across the chickens as they go hunting. Slip and slide, overdrive already not taken just yet, but Zen's hunting for one more. Oh, the back's taken! Doesn't realize that Wheaty's right there for the drop. Gizmo will find 2 in the midst of it all. Wolf, in fact, Gizmo, it seems like, yeah, pushed out from B. Able to stop the aggression there. So on to A, it looks like we're going.
I have the spike.
Did Faith hear those footsteps from Rogue as he ran up to grab Spike? Smoke's coming across. Doesn't look like the chicken coop's rotating, but action found in lane. Cluck finding 2. Team captain the chicken coop. Able to take away the 2 attackers from Nacho Average Taco. Leaving Rogue in a 1v4.
If you wanted something to come out from a timeout, this was probably the best case scenario for the chicken coop folks, right? Able to respond in kind. I don't think Cluck saw Rogue. Therefore, Lamar is caught with their pants down, unfortunately. Trying to make things a bit more interesting as the plant will be faked. That wall eventually goes out. They want to use the Nightfall? No way, right? This is how much respect they're giving to Rogue, perhaps?
Maybe. You definitely saw it come out for a second there, but the rest of the team not there to play off of it, so it makes sense to hold at least until your team comes into an area where they can capitalize on it. But Paranoia out from Omen, catching Rogue, but dismisses away before they can act upon it. Chicken Coop decides to play the numbers anyways. Gizmo swings out, catches Rogue, bringing Chicken Coop to a 9-8 lead.
Honestly, such great discipline, right, from Chicken Coop. They could have moved in a little quicker, but they knew, they had player advantage. Might as well play that to your advantage. Now, Faith Walker 1 away from that Steel Garden. They're lined up with ultimates, but so is Nacho Average Taco, right? Annihilation Online, Showstopper might be an explosive start. And once they get the plant down and able to whittle one more with that Deadlock ultimate, it might go their way to regain some momentum for themselves.
That's definitely what they're going to be looking for here, right? Tomothy and Rogue having great games here, but the rest of the team was stuck on 8 kills. It's very... Most of the teams are pretty... While Chicken Coop's a little more distributed, I think, outside of Gizmo. But let's see if they can get some more action here. Operator finding Tomothy early.
I can't believe Lamar stuck around just a second more. Walks away with 3 HP. The kill is all that's needed. So Tomothy, the raid boss, but responding kind. Cluck will fire back and catch Weedy off guard. They understand how Weedy is playing. You can't be repeating the same strats over and over again.
No, you cannot. Not at this level. And like you were saying last time, with that discipline to stop and slow down, wait for the team to come back together. It's stuff you only see in these high elo tournaments, right? High elo players. Trades coming out in mid. Gizmo finding Twisty, Rogue finding Gizmo. Not sure if it's down to a 2v4.
The only saving grace right now is that, Chicken Coop have lost their smokes, which makes it a little harder for retakes perhaps, which they're obviously going to play because they're in player advantage. So Taco will have to just pick a site, plant, and then use your showstopper for that post plant.
Yeah, exactly. Based off time, looks like they're going to have to pick A, but Zen's holding elbow. Will he be able to find one? Finds a timing. Relay Bolt comes out. He's able to get out.
Oh, great hunt as well to let them know that that's clear. It's going to be the Nightfall utilized, and the Showstopper is evaded, but not those bullets. So Faith Walker won't trade. 10 seconds, not enough. Taco drops. Cluck will pick up the team lead diff in double digits for Chicken Coop.
Taco getting stuck in between 2 different players. Cluck and Faith Walker coming from 2 separate angles. A perfect double swing out of Chicken Coop. Not much you can do if you're Taco. Just stuck in the bad situation. The team
Yeah,
Taco.
Chicken Coop, they can smell blood right now. They're so close to shutting it all down and taking away their own map pick after having stolen Haven away from the Tacos. Operator still in the hands of Lamar, so might be interesting as they solo anchor B basically.
They're just holding that B main to see if someone pushes out. They do have the Vise wall there as well, that shear line, if someone does push across it. And you won't be able to jump peek and trigger it without having to answer to Jordan with that off. Unless you come into market, that is.
Couldn't find much. Unfortunately, the show stopped. No, oh, the knives are out. But somehow in the midst of it all, Lamar gets out safely and securely. Not a single damage to their body. Rogue will find Faithwalker as they hold down this market space. The flank comes in, but look has been absolutely, taken out, or at least held back by these walls. And now the penny has dropped, and so has Taco. McTwisty will find Lamar, so all eyes on this front site right now as they try to invade their way from B main. The walls allow Cluck to get themselves on. Oh, the spray! Not enough though. Timothy will respond and put themselves back into momentum.
Zen's obviously having the lineup, having the angle, having the shot there, but unfortunately that spray not going his way, hitting everything but Weedy as she was sitting on that box. Able to get those kills, able to secure one back, 9-10. Nacho Avishako kind of claw one back, keep themselves in this fight. They've got to win this map if they want to stay in it and see map 3.
They have to lock in indeed.
Buy up here, but Zen's actually. Light Shield Sheriff coming in. Light Shield Classic. But does have Overdrive in the pocket.
It's probably going to be the one in the bag once the aggression starts. You know, the Taco looking like they're parading for a bit of an A push. Prowler from Chicken Coop already clears this B, so it might be the penny starting to be formed and almost dropping once this drone gets sussed out. Timothy in the midst of it all will find the push from Faithwalker, but Faithwalker will respond in kind. So Zenz gets caught off guard. Did I hear the overdrive popped? It was indeed, and so no value found at all. Away we go, pressing the issue onto A.
But Chicken Coop with the 3 players quickly reacting. Jordan ran over early, finds one as they flood on the site. Looks for the second, but unable to catch it.
One enemy remaining.
Now Faithwalker trying to hold things in, gets a nice 3K. 11-9 goes that scoreline, and Chicken Coop inching ever so closer towards their victory.
What does that say about me?
This is exactly what you want from Chicken Coop, right? Coming in onto this defensive half and really just putting up numbers, being an impenetrable wall here. Only allowing 2 rounds so far. Nacho Average Taco, they're really making them have to do that work, try to force their way on the sites, and Chicken Coop's doing a great job of reacting and calling those early hits, like figuring out where they're going to be and moving as much of their players there as possible, getting everybody synced together, organized, and then attacking as one whole force.
Yeah, they're looking like they're gonna save because they don't have too much confidence at the moment, especially with Timothy dropping so early. Is that raid boss out of the way, so the draft, just to be able to clear things out, Clux stepped right in to provide a bit more pressure, but McTwisty's gonna suss it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, drone coming out, finding the fade, forcing him back. Cluck, team captain for Chicken Coop, having to drop all the way back to market, but as the scans go away, pushes back up, retakes that space that he gave. Jordan with op in hand. They've cleared out B main. As Nacho Taco moves back over to try to take some mid control instead.
The arc was now heard right through that mid space. They wondering in terms of timing how far they could push up. The double swing out almost gets the lineup, but Lamar will be able to drop it. Regen shield now activating to hold this mid space. So onto A we go.
Zen's poking out, looking at Weedy. Weedy trying to get that sheriff shot off, but it catches the wall net. Not able to find Zen's either as they both hide behind generator.
Oh, great nades as well to be able to push them out. Zen's in the midst of it all will find 2. And Gizmo will drop for their troubles. Though the dance around the smoke, the knives are out, but Neon's faster. Weedy can't find the mark. Oh, they're just playing with their food.
Oh, no.
And Zenz will find the knife. The perfect 3K to get themselves up to map point. Nay, series point.
Oh, poor Weedy, stuck in a bad situation there. I think ran out of sheriff bullets. I love the early commitment. Like, all right, knife fight it is. We're going in, but it's just hard to keep up with a Neon, right? So they zoom all over the place, sliding around, jumping around, and especially you're chasing them after with a knife. Like, I do not envy Weedy in that situation. She did the best she could, but Neons, man, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Honestly, they've nerfed Neon a couple of times. I still feel like I don't get the better of them in my ranked games. Lamar doing a high risk, high reward situation, especially with the tag, has to dash out of there. This could be it for the Nacho Average Taco team. If they can't get this, they lose and are eliminated. That's a good start as Rogue finds Lamar, the spam through Weedy, can't find a second. But oh my gosh, the showstopper in the midst of it all, the spam from Taco, they're already on site. Looks like this. They have in the bag. Chicken Coop put too many eggs in a basket. Now Zenz, left on their lonesome, has to clutch up.
Nacho Average Tacos serving up some chicken tacos here, cooking them down to, takes 4 of them out before the post plant. Coming into post plant with a great scenario. Free sight, 4v1 Zenz. The Neon looking to try to claw it back, see if they can secure out this round, but they're going to be up against it here. Finds one. And it's netted, but Tomothy comes back around, catches the netted Zenz, gets that round back, 10-12. Still match point for Chicken Coop.
That's the power of the deadlock, right? I'd love to see great grabs, especially against a speedster like Zenz, taking away their one basically gimmick away from them, leaving themselves a bit stranded. Walk like one of us.
Getting the revenge for the last round, right? Like, you got me with a knife, but hey, I got a net. I can stop you from running around.
Okay. Now, honestly, yeah, Nacho Average Taco, you gotta play every single round to perfection. One's what they got in that last, putting them to double digits. Let's see if they can do 2 more to push us in overtime.
And Chicken Coop coming into this with only 1 rifle. This is a great way. This is exactly what you want to see from that Nacho Average Taco. If they can start getting these kills off, but the nade coming off wrong for Rogue.
It's a tick for tat so far. Tomothy now in mid. Will be backstabbed by Faith Walker. Chicken Coop looking like they might want to close this out. Not if McTwisty has anything to say about that as Zenz tucks tail and gets out of there. Now Steel Garden online by Faith Walker. Will catch McTwisty out. It's all on this final player. Weedy has to do it all. 1 away from their ultimate on jamming of it. We'll find it. Annihilation online. This might be the turning point. They have to do it all against Zenz, who has been such a clutch factor throughout this entire series. It's been walled up top as well. So, oh my gosh, tries to find just 1 bullet. Couldn't find that Annihilation lock-in. Now still Sonic Sensor online. The bait, no bait indeed. The plant comes down. Weedy tries to get around. Zenz caught in the graph net. The dance out, the reposition. Both these players have dropped each other. Who will get the revenge on one another? The knife fight might come out. If anything, it's around this corner and Weedy will find Zenz. That is the revenge kill. Sweet as it can be. 11-12. So close it goes.
Talk about a core gaming clutch out of Weedy. Not only clutching the round, clutching the map, clutching their lives in this tournament. This is it. They've got to get this win. They've got to take it to OT or they are out. And Weedy putting the team on her back, getting that kill, finding the off angle, taking Zenz out, keeping them alive.
My heart's racing, AG. I mean, this is as close as it gets, and Lamar will start things off with a beautiful shot down mid. Knives as well to take out Tomothy. No more duelists for the Taco. Is this the beginning of the end?
2 down from Nacho Average Taco is not what you want to see here, but Weedy finding one back, catches Cluck, pushing out A main, or B main, looking for that lobby control. That comes out. Only 3 of Nacho Average Taco still alive. 2 of them gathered up, but Weedy found by Jordan's op. Pops Knives back out. Tickles Twisty down. Zenz finding Taco. It's down to Twisty. But the dual rushing duelists from Chicken Coop pick them apart and secure it. 13-11 chicken coop.